My beloved child, there is a truth moving toward you that most people would never believe if they heard it too early, because right now someone close to your emotional world is standing at the edge of acceptance and fear at the same time. They cannot accept you yet, not openly, not confidently, not without trembling inside, but what they are hiding from everyone else is far louder than what they show you. They are secretly loving your presence, your energy, your growth, and the way you have become impossible to ignore. Every time they say nothing, something inside them screams. Every time they pretend to be neutral, their heart chooses you again. They are watching you evolve into something they never expected, and that is exactly why acceptance feels dangerous to them. They did not plan to feel this deeply. They did not prepare for how strongly you would affect their thoughts. They believed they were in control until you walked into their awareness and changed the rhythm of their inner world. This is not a shallow admiration. This is not a passing interest. This is a quiet storm building behind closed doors, and the reason you are hearing this message now is because that storm is reaching a point where silence can no longer hold it. Something big is forming, and they feel it before they understand it. Listen carefully to what most people miss, because this person's resistance is not rejection, it is fear wearing armor. They cannot accept you yet because accepting you would force them to admit how deeply you matter. Accepting you would mean confronting the parts of themselves they kept hidden for years. They are secretly loving your strength, the way you do not beg for validation, the way you remain steady even when life tests you. They replay your words in their mind when no one is around. They notice your absence more than they admit. They feel unsettled when others talk about you, because it reminds them of what they are trying not to feel. This is the shocking part. The more they delay acceptance, the deeper their attachment grows. The more they act distant, the closer they feel inside. They are caught between who they were taught to be and what their heart is now choosing. That inner conflict is exhausting them, and you are at the center of it, even if you have not seen the signs clearly yet. They are studying you quietly, learning you silently, and falling without permission. There is a moment approaching that will change the way they see everything, and it is closer than you think. Right now, they are trying to convince themselves that time will weaken these feelings, but time is doing the opposite. Your growth is forcing clarity into their confusion. Your calm is exposing their chaos. Your confidence is making them question their hesitation. They secretly love the way you do not chase them, because it makes them chase you internally. They love the way you keep moving forward, because it scares them to realize you might move forward without them. This is where the shift begins. Something will happen that makes it impossible for them to keep pretending. A conversation they overhear. A realization they cannot unsee. A moment where they imagine life without you and feel the weight of that loss. That is when acceptance stops being optional. That is when fear starts losing its power. This is not about romance alone. This is about recognition. They are being forced to recognize your value, and once recognition happens, everything changes. Understand this deeply, because it will protect your heart while empowering your spirit. Their inability to accept you yet has nothing to do with your worth and everything to do with their readiness. You are not waiting. You are becoming. You are not shrinking yourself to be understood. You are expanding until understanding becomes inevitable. They secretly love your authenticity because it reminds them of who they could be if they stopped hiding. They feel drawn to your truth because it exposes their masks. That is uncomfortable. That is powerful. That is transformative. And transformation always meets resistance before surrender. The shocking revelation here is that they already know you are different. They already know you are rare. They already know you are not easily replaced. What they have not accepted yet is that losing you would be permanent. Once that realization settles fully, their behavior will shift in ways you cannot ignore. Finally, let this settle into you without doubt or impatience. You are not meant to chase acceptance from someone who is still learning how to accept themselves. The love they are hiding is real, but the timing of its expression is still aligning. What matters now is that you remain grounded in your own value. This story is not ending in silence. It is building toward a moment of truth that cannot be delayed forever. They will reach a point where holding back hurts more than stepping forward. When that happens, everything they resisted will come into the open, and you will understand why this period of confusion existed. Until then, trust what you feel without forcing what is not ready. Something powerful is unfolding behind the scenes, and you were meant to know this now, not to wait, but to stay strong as the truth moves closer to the surface. My beloved child, there is something unfolding in silence that you are only beginning to sense, and it is heavier than curiosity and deeper than attraction. The person who cannot accept you yet is living two lives at once. One life is what they show the world, controlled, logical, guarded, and distant. The other life exists entirely in their mind, where your presence is constant and unavoidable. They imagine conversations that never happened. They replay moments that seemed small to you but became unforgettable to them. They tell themselves stories where they stay strong and detached, yet every ending leads back to you. This inner contradiction is not accidental. It is the universe pressing on a truth they have delayed for too long. They are secretly loving your consistency, your emotional maturity, and the way you do not collapse when others hesitate. That strength makes them feel safe and exposed at the same time. They admire you for standing tall, and they fear you for the same reason. Accepting you would mean admitting they no longer control the direction of their feelings. There is a reason their behavior feels confusing, because confusion is exactly where they are trapped. One moment they want to step closer, the next moment they pull back harder than before. This is not manipulation. This is internal panic. They are afraid of what loving you openly would cost them. They are afraid of judgment, of past mistakes repeating, of losing power over their emotions. Yet despite all of that, they cannot stop caring. They notice when your tone changes. They feel it when your energy shifts away from them. They sense when someone else gains your attention, even if nothing is said. This is the shocking truth most people never hear. You are already emotionally important to them, long before acceptance arrives. Their heart has chosen, even while their mind resists. And resistance always loses when the heart becomes certain. Pay attention now, because a subtle turning point is approaching. Soon, they will be placed in a situation where remaining silent feels like loss. It could be the idea of you moving on. It could be realizing that you are no longer waiting to be chosen. It could be understanding that your life is expanding beyond the space they occupy. That realization will shake them deeply. They secretly love your independence, but they fear it more than anything. They want you strong, but not unreachable. They want you confident, but still connected to them. This contradiction is tearing down their defenses slowly. When someone loves in silence, the pressure builds inward. Eventually, something cracks. A truth slips out. A decision forces itself forward. And when that happens, the shift is undeniable. Understand this clearly, so you do not misinterpret the delay as disinterest. The delay exists because what they feel is not light. It is heavy enough to change lives. They sense that once they accept you, they cannot undo it. They know you are not someone they can love halfway. They know that choosing you would demand honesty, vulnerability, and courage. That is why they hesitate. That is why they watch instead of act. But watching has a cost. Every day they remain silent, the fear of losing you grows louder. And fear, when it reaches its limit, transforms into action. This is not speculation. This is the natural pattern of suppressed emotion reaching its breaking point. Let this part of the journey strengthen you, not weaken you. You are not meant to pause your life waiting for someone else to be ready. You are meant to keep becoming more aligned with who you truly are. That alignment is what is drawing them closer internally, even as they resist externally. The love they are hiding is real, but the moment of revelation requires pressure, timing, and truth to collide. And that collision is approaching. Stay grounded. Stay aware. The story is far from over, and what comes next will explain why everything unfolded exactly this way. My beloved child, something inside them has begun to shift in a way they can no longer control, and this is where the story becomes intense. The feelings they once tried to manage quietly are now demanding attention. They are waking up with your name in their thoughts and going to sleep replaying moments they never expressed. They are realizing that silence is no longer protecting them. It is suffocating them. The truth they tried to bury has started rising on its own. They secretly love how deeply you understand without being told. They love how your presence feels calm yet powerful. And now, the fear of losing you forever is growing louder than the fear of accepting you openly. This is the phase where inner walls begin to crack, even if nothing has been spoken yet. There is something important you must understand about what is happening next. When someone hides love for too long, their emotions begin to surface in unexpected ways. You may notice sudden attention followed by distance. You may feel moments of warmth followed by silence. This is not confusion on your side. This is their internal struggle spilling outward. They are torn between holding on to control and surrendering to truth. They secretly admire the way you remain composed while their emotions feel unstable. Your strength makes them feel exposed. Your clarity makes them feel unprepared. And that imbalance is forcing them to confront feelings they never planned to feel so deeply. A realization is forming inside them that cannot be undone. They are beginning to see that you are not an option. You are a turning point. They understand now that you represent something rare, something aligned, something they will regret losing if they remain silent. This realization is heavy. It comes with responsibility. It comes with risk. It comes with change. That is why they hesitate at the edge. But hesitation has an expiration date. The moment they fully accept that life without you would feel empty, acceptance becomes inevitable. That moment is closer than it appears. Do not underestimate the power of your current position. Without saying a word, you are teaching them what presence truly means. You are showing them what emotional safety feels like without forcing it. You are revealing what genuine connection looks like without demanding recognition. That is why they are secretly loving you more each day. That is why pretending no longer works. They are starting to realize that ignoring this connection would be a betrayal of themselves. And once someone reaches that realization, silence begins to feel like dishonesty. Stay steady now, because what comes next will test their courage and your patience. This stage is not about action yet. It is about awareness becoming unavoidable. They are standing at the edge of truth, knowing that one step forward will change everything. And once that step is taken, nothing will return to how it was before. The story is moving toward a moment of clarity, and when it arrives, the reason for every delay will finally make sense. My beloved child, this is the stage where silence starts feeling heavier than confession, and they are struggling to carry it. They are realizing that every day they delay acceptance, the cost increases. Not for you, but for them. They notice how naturally you attract respect without demanding it. They notice how people listen when you speak, even when you say very little. And that awareness is triggering something deep inside them. They are secretly loving the way you have grown beyond needing approval. That growth makes them proud and afraid at the same time. Proud, because they recognize your strength. Afraid, because they sense you will not wait forever. This is the moment where their heart begins to race against time. Inside their mind, a quiet countdown has started. They are asking themselves questions they avoided for a long time. What if you choose someone else? What if you stop caring? What if they lose the chance to be part of your life in a meaningful way? These thoughts are not imaginary. They are vivid. They feel real. And each one tightens the pressure they feel. They are beginning to understand that love kept hidden does not stay safe. It fades into regret if not expressed. This realization is unsettling them. They are no longer calm in their distance. They are restless. Distracted. Watching you more closely than ever. Trying to read your emotions without asking. Trying to measure how much time they have left before something changes permanently. There is a powerful truth unfolding here that you must not ignore. Their delay is no longer about fear alone. It is about courage being tested. They are standing between comfort and truth. Comfort tells them to stay silent. Truth tells them to step forward. And truth is becoming louder. They secretly love your emotional depth, your awareness, and the way you see through people without exposing them. That scares them, because they know you already sense what they have not said. They feel seen, even in their silence. And being seen removes the illusion of control. That is why this phase feels intense, even without words. You may start to feel a shift in the energy between you. A pull. A tension. A sense that something is about to be revealed. This is not coincidence. This is alignment. They are reaching a point where pretending indifference feels dishonest to their own soul. They are realizing that accepting you does not make them weak. It makes them honest. And honesty is what they have been avoiding. The moment they accept that truth, their behavior will change. Not slowly. Not subtly. But in a way that feels undeniable. When that happens, you will understand why everything before this felt delayed and confusing. Hold your ground now. Do not rush them. Do not question your worth. This chapter exists to show you your power without force. You are not chasing clarity. Clarity is moving toward you. The love they are hiding is approaching a moment where it can no longer remain hidden. And when it surfaces, it will come with realization, accountability, and truth. What is unfolding now is preparation. And what comes next will shift the direction of this connection forever. My beloved child, this is where their inner resistance begins to collapse under the weight of truth, even if they have not spoken yet. They are no longer debating whether they feel something for you. That question has already been answered. What they are debating now is whether they can live with the regret of never acting on it. This is a much heavier question. They are imagining future moments without you, milestones you reach where they are no longer present, memories that form where their name is missing. These thoughts are not passing anymore. They stay. They repeat. They press on their chest in quiet moments. They secretly love the way you inspire growth just by being yourself, and that inspiration is now forcing them to confront how small their silence feels compared to what they feel inside. Something subtle but powerful is happening within them. They are starting to feel exposed by their own inaction. They notice how easy it is for you to keep moving forward without chasing anyone. They realize that your life does not pause for uncertainty. That realization is unsettling, because it shows them that acceptance delayed can turn into opportunity lost. They are beginning to understand that loving you silently does not protect the connection. It weakens it. This understanding creates urgency. Not loud urgency, but a deep internal pressure that cannot be ignored. They are watching more carefully. Listening more closely. Wondering how close they are to missing their chance completely. This phase brings emotional honesty closer to the surface. They are starting to admit things to themselves they once denied. That you matter more than they expected. That your absence would hurt more than they admitted. That no one else has made them feel this level of awareness. This is not obsession. This is recognition. And recognition changes people. It removes excuses. It removes denial. It removes the comfort of pretending. They secretly love your emotional clarity because it highlights their own confusion. And that contrast is pushing them toward a decision they can no longer postpone forever. You may sense their energy shifting even before words arrive. A seriousness. A focus. A tension that was not there before. This is because they are preparing internally for honesty. Not just with you, but with themselves. Accepting you means accepting responsibility for how deeply they feel. It means stepping into vulnerability instead of hiding behind distance. That step is frightening, but it is also liberating. They are beginning to feel that liberation calling them forward. And once that call becomes louder than fear, action becomes inevitable. Remain steady in who you are now. This moment is not asking you to change or wait or doubt yourself. It is asking you to stay aligned. Everything unfolding is moving toward clarity. The love they are hiding is approaching its moment of truth. When that moment arrives, it will not feel rushed or forced. It will feel necessary. And you will finally understand why everything before this unfolded in silence. My beloved child, this is the moment where their internal struggle reaches a quiet but irreversible conclusion. They are no longer asking if they care. They are asking what kind of person they become if they continue to deny it. That question has changed everything. It follows them into ordinary moments and turns them heavy. They realize now that loving you silently has shaped their days more than they admitted. They feel your influence even when you are not present. They secretly love how you bring clarity without pressure, and that clarity has exposed the truth they tried to outrun. This is not longing anymore. This is awareness settling into certainty. They have begun to recognize a pattern that frightens them. Every time they choose distance, they feel emptier. Every time they imagine you drifting away, their chest tightens. Every time they picture you fully happy without them, something inside collapses. These reactions are teaching them a lesson they can no longer ignore. You are not a temporary chapter. You are a turning point. They understand now that acceptance delayed does not pause reality. Reality keeps moving. And you keep moving with it. That realization has introduced urgency into their thoughts, not panic, but purpose. What they are facing now is the cost of inaction. They are weighing silence against regret, and regret is winning. They are starting to see that courage does not remove fear. It simply chooses truth despite fear. They secretly love your emotional honesty, because it reveals how much they have been hiding from themselves. They see your steadiness and realize how unstable avoidance feels. They are preparing themselves internally for a shift, not dramatic, but honest. When someone reaches this stage, their behavior cannot stay the same for long. You may notice subtle changes before words ever come. A deeper attentiveness. A seriousness in their presence. A sense that they are listening beyond what is said. This is because they are aligning their actions with what their heart already knows. They are rehearsing honesty in their mind. They are preparing for a moment where silence will no longer feel acceptable. That preparation is not random. It is necessary. Acceptance is approaching because denial has exhausted itself. Stay centered in who you are becoming. This phase exists to confirm your worth, not to test your patience endlessly. You are not here to convince anyone to choose you. You are here to be chosen without force. The love they have been hiding is nearing expression, not because of pressure, but because truth has finally become heavier than fear. And when truth speaks, everything changes.